Ariana? Hi Ariana, how are you today? Soraya? Sumaya?
How are you today,
Thank you, Sumaya. Menha is not here. Nika?
Here, how are you today?
I'm fine. How about you? Saba?
Here, how are you today?
Good. Thank you, Saba. Okay, everybody together. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, who is gonna tell me how many days are in a week? Yes?
7.
Get any turn. Hasanen, what's the month? April. Thank you. And who is gonna tell me what's the year? What's the year? Who didn't get any turn? Nika. 2014. Could you please come up here?
So I'm Leila Shalistani. I have been basically I got involved with City of Knowledge because of my children. When I came out of City of Knowledge and went to university, a group of parents from Irvine actually got in touch with me, and they said that they want Islamic school for their children.
I'm Rafia Gidwai Khan. I'm known as Mrs. Khan in the school, and I've been working here for like 2 years. I have a bachelor's in geography and history from King's College London, and then I studied in international relations over at the University of Sussex. I also studied my TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language. And I have my Montessori certificate, which I should really...
Montessori certificate.
Yeah,
that's
which
right,
I did more recently.
The reason why I searched this school specifically for my daughter is because when I was growing up here, there wasn't a Muslim school, and if there was a Muslim school, it was expensive or it was too far away. So for me, having the foundation of an Islamic religion in my family was important to me. So when I searched about the school and I saw that the way the teachers were working and the administration was working and they all were doing it with their heart and for Allah and for the future of these kids, I wanted to be a part of that. So that was my motivation. I mean, I don't want my child to be the only one who's gaining something. I wanted to give back as well.
As a Muslim in a non-Muslim country, it's very important for our kids to have that identity of a Muslim, as a Muslim American. And if they have a strong foundation, that helps a lot. That's one of my main beliefs, is if you have a strong foundation, from the very young age, and if that sticks with you. So, and this school has done a great job about balancing the religious studies and the academics.
Academically, I've been across the board. I've had a child in one of my own kids in state school. I've had my kids in Montessori. I've had homeschool, so I know all the different areas. And to be honest, I've seen a very bright child go into that system and be totally dumbed down within a month. And that's when they were 4th grade. I've noticed that if your child is bright, the state system does not cater to them.
What differs with this school being a Montessori, it is different in the sense it's more hands-on. There is more teaching tools that are used. It's a lot of work to put little baskets of cards together for certain areas, and just the academics that they teach here, it's so broad. It's wonderful, and I mean, they give their time to expand that to all the children.
The teachers for the public school, they are very good, excellent too. This is better because they focus more in the kids. Because in the public school, the kids right now is like 32 kids for one teacher, only one. And this is hard to them. I don't mean no good. They are excellent. They have mastered everything. Here, they focus more in the kids for learn, for concentration, for everything. And for me, it's very important that.
I have to say that the homework that my son is doing now in 1st grade is not that much more advanced than what my kindergartners are doing here. What they do is they kind of evaluate the kids and to see what they're ready for, and if they're eager to learn, then they allow that to happen, as opposed to saying no, you're not ready because you're not, your birthday missed the date or the cutoff. So
the other thing I really enjoy is to see her making her schedule on a weekly basis, and she makes the plans, and it's kind of kids become mature before they know it, and they learn how to plan something, which most of the kids don't know these days. The level of education is pretty high. I compare my daughter with the kids at her age, as far as their behavior, school activities, and even their homeworks. You can't compare them. So there's a huge difference. One is knowing who the principal is, and she's well known. And I truly learned the beauty of Islam through her.
Okay.
With the way she behaves, how she is towards the children, there's nothing she wouldn't do for the kids. And that makes me, as a parent, I know when I drop off my daughter, I know she's in a safe place, and I know she's going to learn something. And that's a valuable thing, not just anything.
What are some of the issues that you guys are facing in the continued success of the school?
Well, the main issue is the place. I mean, as I said, it was a miracle that we got this place. It was, just to find a place. So many institutes have wanted to start Islamic school, and they said the number one reason that stopped them was finding a suitable place within the range of the budget that they had. Mm-hmm. Struggle for any kind of institute there's always, it has its own, struggle, which I think, Allah has blessed it to make it easy here, but not having a stable place, because I know there are so many parents that they keep contacting us, but they're not, because of instability. So far, we have 3 full-time teachers that are, basically are getting paid, but again, minimum.
Right.
And we have 1 administrator that's getting paid and also being a teacher. And then we have 2 part-timers that are getting paid. One is an office assistant, and the other one is just a teacher. And then we have 3 volunteers, teachers. For one administrator, that's a volunteer.
Right.
And basically we have 10. With a master's degree, you can teach at the university and get at least $50 an hour up. We pay our master. One of our teachers is a master. She has her master's. She gets $14 an hour.
Right.
I truly believe it's Allah's miracle, but it's her good heart too. Mm-hmm. You saw, our administrator, the Arabic Quran teacher. She just, she was so glowing red. She's been here since 9 o'clock. This is really like 12 hours. I don't think she ate anything.
Oh.
She's been non-stop. The only thing she said, I said, she said, just check on my child. If she needs to, if he needs to go to the bathroom or something, just, and she comes from Downey every day. So it's in traffic.
I know teaching is about sacrifice. I know a lot of my colleagues, even when I was subbing at the other school, I know you spend a lot of time grading and lesson planning. Here we literally make a lesson plan per child. It's not according to grade. Last year I taught TK kindergarten. Every child had a column in my lesson plan book, and I started with 9, I ended up with 20 by January students, and each subject I would make sure they got a lesson throughout the week. We make sure they get to practice, and until they master it, they will practice. And I had students that when they started, they couldn't read or write at all. Within a couple of months, they're reading, writing, they're actually exploring other things around the classroom, becoming really confident. And you see, we get excited for them. The first time they read their first word, you're like, yes, and you write it down. Your day, you did it, good job. It's exciting, and they suddenly have this world open to them, where they can read words, where they can just not have to look at the pictures and actually explain to their mom and dad, look, I know this stuff. But we're here because, to be honest, these students are amazing, the children are great. I think the hardest thing would be to leave.
Financial situation is something that they're struggling, but that's something that can be resolved with other people's support. But as the rest of that, I don't see any challenges that they cannot be done by them, you know. We've had a harder time because my daughter started from day one with them. We had more difficult situations
Before.
and we went through it. And the school, every year I see a tremendous improvement. And I know for sure, I told her from day one, I know for sure the school is going to be a success.
Well, from day one, obviously, it's got the financial challenge, having support from the community. It's really sad because if you go out and look at other communities, the Korean community is really strong. The Indian community will always support their own stores and their own people and their own businesses. Unfortunately, the Muslim community, I've been seeing this from London to here, is that our people are always out to pull each other apart instead of supporting each other, which is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught us. Everybody likes to talk the talk, but walking the walk and actually following through on what they believe is very hard. The reality is, if we want to do something, stop building mosques, stop, and you don't have to have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's 100 names in gold, 22 karat gold up on your dome, and selling them $5,000 per name. I've seen it happen. Put that money into books, into educating our children, keeping them away from the society here. Everybody thinks their kids are really, really great. But the problem is, you don't actually know what's going on in their schools. You don't really know what they're being exposed to. I want the kids here to realize any child who walks through that door is as bright as the other. Everybody thinks their kid's the brightest. You go any gathering, oh, my child is getting A grades. Every child is the top of his class. I've never met a child who's not the top of their class. But in reality, you have to stick with reality. But I want the children to realize you're all born A grades. You're born with the same brain. But nature and nurture come together. And if you can overcome the challenges that you face, nowadays teachers aren't just teachers, we're psychologists here. And a lot of the children nowadays are facing challenges, alhamdulillah, we didn't have to face, with broken families and all types of other things going on in their lives. And the society we live in, they're totally being undermined. Their focus that should be their work, is their schooling, is undermined by that. And if we can remind them, don't worry, we were there one day. And we don't forget where we came from, and remind them, don't worry, I understand where you're coming from. And look, you can make it. You can get wherever you want to go. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Then what we're doing is worth it. Our sacrifice is nothing compared to that.
What is the best action to do in this life? Waiting for the coming of Imam Mahdi. Waiting doesn't mean just to sit down and say, oh Allah, bring Imam Mahdi. It's to do something about it. And molding and bringing human beings that are worthy of being that companion is truly doing something for him. I don't think anything else is doing something for him. Somebody that's truly the top in chemistry, in physics, in akhlaq, in religion, in, the best husband, the best wife, the best, that's what he needs. And if we have those dedicated people, he's waiting, he keeps saying, come on, take my hand. We're just doing our own things and we're living our own lives. And we just, generation after generation, and we keep mourning for Imam Hussein. Yet we are doing the same exact thing those people did in Karbala to Imam Hussein, to his son. That's what I want to say. And this is a message that who is to help Imam Mahdi today?